So, Matt, you believe in God's existence?
Like some of the people that try to explain it and this and that, they kind of come at you wrong with it, and it kind of makes it hard to believe at times, I guess.
What about you, Juan? You believe in God's existence?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
When you say you're a Christian, have you been born again?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask you an embarrassing question? Is Matt your friend?
I would say so. I just met him like a couple months ago.
Okay. What happens to Matt if he dies in his sins? Where does he go?
Well, I'll pray for him. See.
No. Where does he go? I want you to tell me.
No, I don't think, I'm not like, I hate God because I can't do this or I can't do that, you know?
Can you be specific about what you're not supposed to do? Do
Well,
you want me to help you?
yeah, let's hear one of yours.
Yeah, say, could it be that I don't like the thought of God because I love porn and I love having sex with my girlfriend and I love doing my own thing?
It could be something, as simple as that. Yeah. I mean, it could be, isn't it one of them where it's like you steal, even is a sin considered, So, I mean, how many people have stolen in their lifetime? It's like, but not saying like, oh, I'm into stealing or whatever. I'm just saying like.
You're not into stealing?
No, unfortunately not.
Do you think you're a good person?
I feel for the most part of the time I am, but not all the way.
How many lies do you think you've told in your life?
Oh, man.
I would
Probably
say right
two-
now like 10.
Probably too many to count.
Have you ever stolen something in your whole life?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a lying thief?
Yeah. Under God's, what do you call it?
Standard.
Standard. Yeah.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
All the time. I try not to, but
Jesus said if you look at a woman and lust for her, you commit adultery with her in your heart. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
I think that just happened.
That's so true. So, Matt, I'm not judging you, but you've just told me you're a lying, thieving, blasphemous adulterer at heart. That's 4 of the 10 commandments. If God judges you by those commandments on Judgment Day, you're going to be innocent or guilty.
What were the odds? 40%?
Yeah.
You want some more commandments? I can give you some if you want. You're going for 40%. Have you ever murdered anybody?
No.
The Bible says if you hate someone, you are a murderer.
Really?
That's how high God's standards are.
See, that's what I'm telling you from the get-go. I'm not super knowledgeable on the.
I'm trying to help you to have some knowledge.
I'm learning today. Yeah.
So, if God judges you by the 10 commandments on Judgment Day, we've looked at 4 or 40%. Do you think you'd be innocent or guilty?
I mean, the way I look at things, my perspective, I guess I would be non-guilty because it's less than half.
Nothing is hid from his eyes, and every time you sin, you store up his wrath. That's the teaching of the Bible. So if God was to judge you by the 10 commandments on Judgment Day, and you're guilty, would you go to heaven or hell?
Probably hell.
Now, does that concern you?
Obviously it concerns everyone a little bit, I would say. Yeah.
I'd like it to concern you a big bit, because your life is the most precious thing you've got. You wouldn't sell one of your eyes for $1 million. You wouldn't sell both for $100 million, because you value your eyes, and your eyes are merely the windows of your soul. Your life looks out those little windows, so your soul is so valuable to you. Your life is. Do you know what God did for guilty sinners so he wouldn't have to go to hell?
I don't think so.
Do you know?
Huh?
Do you know what God did for guilty sinners so he wouldn't have to go to hell?
Yeah, he died on the cross.
Now, do you understand that, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember, yeah.
Yeah, you and I violated God's law, the 10 commandments. Jesus came and paid the fine. If you're in court and someone pays your fine, the judge can let you go. He can say, look, this guy Matt's guilty, but someone's paid his fine. He's out of here. Well, God can commute your death sentence because of what Jesus did on the cross. When he was on the cross, he said a really weird thing. It makes no sense. He cried out just before he died, "It is finished." Why do you think he said that?
Well, I'd imagine about the penalties how you just mentioned,
Yeah, he was saying the fine is paid. And then he died and rose from the dead and defeated death. And if you repent and trust in him like you trust a parachute, God will dismiss your case, commute your death sentence, let you live forever, because your fine was paid for another. He can extend mercy towards you and yet retain justice because of that suffering death on the cross. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's going to sound kind of really weird, but this is the most important thing you'll ever hear in your life, because you're a finite human being. You're going to die. Every beat of your heart is the drum beat of your own funeral march. You're getting closer and closer to death, and death one day is going to seize on you. And people don't realize that death is the arresting officer. to drag us before the judge of the universe, to answer for violating God's law, and hell is God's prison and there's no parole. It's very serious in God's eyes. So I'm so grateful you listened. Does it make sense what I've been saying?
Yeah, no, yeah, it does. Yeah, I know what you're saying and getting at, yeah. But,
So are you afraid of dying?
of course, who isn't afraid of dying? Yeah.
Yeah, some proud people won't admit it, but when someone says I am, that's a humble heart, and that's really good. If you were to die today and God gave you justice, you'd end up in hell. There are two things you have to do to be saved. You must repent and trust in Jesus. When are you going to do that?
I don't know yet.
When are you going to die?
I don't know yet either.
It could be today, couldn't it?
Could very well be.
So there's a tremendous urgency, and you may not realize this, but I love you, I care about you, and the thought of you ending up in hell horrifies me. Because I know this is true, what I'm saying. It's the gospel truth. So will you at least please think about this seriously?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So,
I'm going to give you some literature and uphold you in prayer, and I trust that your friend
all right.
will share further of what we talked about. Hey, thanks for talking to me, and thanks for listening.
Welcome. Thank you.